Listen. When your car cries for service, it's saying, take me to Goodyear. Goodyear Auto Service can add years to the life of your car because Goodyear knows your car from the ground up.
My Goodyear technicians can do everything, from scheduled maintenance to most emergency repairs. And I've got this, the name you can trust for auto service.
Goodyear tires and auto service for more Goodyears in your car.
Just because the phone company's changing, do I have to change the AT&T phone that's in my home? I mean, why change something that works as good as this? I called AT&T's toll-free number and found out I don't have to lift a finger to keep old reliable right here on the job. I can keep on leasing or buying. So why don't you do what I'm doing during all these big changes in the telephone business? Relax.
AT&T, we set the standards.
Friday Benson's Bachelor of the Month.
I told you were an 8.
And the fan mail's pouring in.
Call this number. And don't let your sister see.
Then
Webster's missing.
and he's on the street alone.
He could be hurt or frightened.
Friday.
We have rain at 8:16. Bye-bye, sun.
That's what you think.
First you pop the sun onto your cheeks, a sunny little glow that never streaks. Now you give your chin the look of health. Look at you, a look for you, or suntan well.
Revlon brings you pure radiance, the sun in powder form. Look like you've been to the sun even if you haven't. Pure radiance from Revlon.
Hey, look at you.
Let's go, paleface.
Introducing York Extra.
Biting into a York Extra, I get the extra cool sensation of gale force winter winds whipping through my hair.
Get the York Extra Big, extra thick, extra rich chocolate, extra creamy mint.
The extra cool sensation of gale force winter winds whipping through my hair.
Get the York Extra Cool sensation.
The American Music Awards will continue in a moment.
An ABC News Brief brought to you by Budweiser Beer. Now from Washington, Max Robinson.
Good evening. President Reagan today called for a resumption of arms talks with the Soviet Union, saying he'd meet the Soviets halfway in the quest for peace. The Soviet Union called the speech election year rhetoric. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Shultz and Soviet Foreign Minister Gromyko arrived today in Stockholm for the Conference on European Disarmament. The two are scheduled to meet privately on Wednesday. And in Lebanon, Druze gunners bombed Christian areas of Beirut, killing at least 18 people. Now this.
Budweiser salutes the coaches and trainers of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you.
An ABC News poll taken after yesterday's Democratic presidential debate in New Hampshire shows viewers nationwide overwhelmingly believe former Vice President Walter Mondale was the winner. More on that tonight on Nightline. That's News Brief. More news later on this ABC station.
Sunday, Sean Connery discovers diamonds are forever.
Oh, James.
It's a busy world we live in. It can take your breath away. When the going isn't easy, there's an easy going way. So relax and catch the feeling. Take off and get away. You're gonna like us, TWA.
Take your time through the airport by reserving your seat in advance. Take a comfortable wide-body plane. Spread out in a spacious business class or stretch out in a first-class sleeper seat. Across the country, across the world, nobody is working harder to make flying easier than everybody at TWA.
We're a spirit you can count on, a hand across the miles. We're a cloud to put your cares on, and an easy smile. You're gonna like us, TWA.
Supermarket strike details after the awards.
Its beauty isn't merely cosmetic. Cougar. Its very shape uses the air to help hug the road. Aircraft-inspired doors help eliminate wind noise. As you drive, a computer adjusts the engine, the 1984 Mercury Cougar. even from a coldly rational perspective, it's beautiful. Mercury Cougar, a more enlightened approach.
Don't give me that so-so soda, the same old cola. I wanna pop, I wanna Shasta, I wanna taste pizzazz, all the great taste, Shasta hell. I wanna pop, I wanna Shasta, I wanna thrill, I wanna wild, taste it all, I wanna know. I wanna pop, I wanna Shasta.
Hello, where's my package? My job depends on it.
What is the airable number that it was sent out on? When did you send that out? It should be the particular company that you sent it to. I can get the information confirmed for you. Up and trace it to get the...
In the Air Express business, fast talking is funny for commercials, but sad in real life. At Airborne, we don't talk fast, we move fast. So fast that we make most of our deliveries before 10:30 a.m. No wonder more people are switching to Airborne than ever before. So watch out, Federal. Here comes Airborne. Thursday, Automan resurrects the dead. What a rush. Then Masquerade turns talented ladies into professional spies.
Not bad, huh?
Their mission, rescue women behind bars.
I demand to see the American ambassador.
Masquerade, Thursday.
Well, the things you learn at family reunions.
What's that, cousin?
Oh, well, you use Velveeta. Oh, I know. But that's what our moms used. Don't you cook with natural cheeses?
Well, what do you think goes into Velveeta?
It's cheddar and other natural cheeses, milk and other wholesome ingredients, all carefully balanced in the Velveeta process. It melts smoother, cooks easier than any chunk cheese alone.
You really know your cheeses.
It's all in this little yellow box.
Thinking about throwing in the towel? No, think about making it Michelob Light for the winners.
Your serve.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Would Goodman's really play this hard for a beer? Well, it is Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Boy, I need help with my serve.
Tom will help you.
First, to remove the cap.
Michelob Light.
Sometimes getting mascara on perfectly is impossible. But now, Revlon changes mascara forever with Flex Appeal, the adjustable angle mascara. It gets close for perfect control, perfect application. Even on hard-to-reach lashes, wear the adjustable angle mascara. Flex Appeal by Revlon. It's waterproof. Or try the new easy-to-remove lash-loving formula. Beautiful.
Welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. There we go. It's been interesting. Tonight we're going to do something a little different, something I don't normally do. And I am I'm going to open the phone lines. That's something I do normally, but the topic of discussion is not necessarily going to be about any other creators. I'm not going to be discussing true crime. We're going to discuss the community as a whole. Okay. we're going to try to understand the algorithm, if you will, of the community, not of YouTube, but of the YouTube community, more or less. Because I'm seeing a lot of inconsistencies. And I got to tell you, you're going to get now. I'm always honest with you guys. There's no question about that. I'm always honest with you guys, but you're going to get more honesty from me than you normally get. And I feel like I owe you guys that. But more importantly, I feel like I owe myself that. Sometimes in this channel, we got to do a little house cleaning, right? Got to clean up our own backyard here on the Glairer. So first off, those of you that are here and being incredibly supportive, I want to say thank you to Team Brittany. I know she's listening, not able to chat, but not just for the super chat, but mostly for the words that she put in the super chat, which was really, really nice. As a matter of fact, let me highlight it and read it. So Team Brittany said, lurking and listening, trying to get back in the swing of things after some bad stuff lately. Keep doing what you're doing and stay true to yourself. That's why we all love you, because of what you stand for. Those words mean so much to me right now. I got to be 100% honest. And I have not spoken to Team Brittany. I have not discussed anything with Team Brittany. It's almost as if she just can sense what's going on. Because I think all of us here can agree that there is an elephant in the room here. And a lot of people seem to be hung up on the fact that two facts. A, that I was on Morbid's panel and I called a woman a cunt. And B, that when doing so, I was extremely angry and agitated. And there seems to be this vibe as though I should apologize for it. And the fact that I put up a post saying I'm not going to apologize, and I put up and I started another live stream where I stated I was not going to apologize. I'm going to triple down on that now and say I'm not going to apologize. Now, and as a result, now this is where I had to like really face something in myself. Okay. I had to really like, I sometimes, you know, a mirror gets put in front of your face. This is what I do on this channel all the time. I put mirrors in front of other creators' faces. I say, this is you. This is what you're doing. Why not just own up to it? And I'm no different than anyone else. The only difference is I don't need someone else to put a mirror in front of my face. I'm perfectly capable of doing that myself. And so thinking about this stuff, I realized that for as long as the Gannon Stauch trial and other times before that verbally, but since the Gannon Stauch thing, I started this thing where I would add these little memes to my streams, and it's been months since I started, you know, adding things like this.
You're a little cunt.
Like this.
Oi, cunt.
And
You're a magnificent cunt.
and for some reason, people are acting like this is new. And what's funny, CW Frisians, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounced it. I also reserve that word for special people. It's not a word that I just throw around. There are people, men as including, who I consider cunts. And I see some of you are agreeing that you love the word. I love the word. Some cuss words are just fun. And, you know, I remember when I first heard the word motherfucker. I love the word motherfucker. I feel the exact same way about the word motherfucker as I do about the word cunt. There's no secret. I mean, all you got to do is watch me for about 10 minutes. This is a fact. So, but what's interesting, I'm noticing that in certain chats since this night that these things took place, in certain chats where I seemed welcome, and there's a vibe of, there seems to be this weird silent vibe of, do I still want to support this person? Let me look around and okay, good, Nunya. You were on panel there. That's fair. I didn't just call her that. I attacked her with that word. See, I don't see it that way. And this is what I'm talking about. Good, Nunya, I like you and I respect you. But this is, you right now are presenting, and I'm glad that you did. You're presenting a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because did I not just say that I got angry, that I was agitated and angry? And just because she didn't call me any names, just because she didn't raise her voice to me, did not mean that she was not an aggressor herself. The fact of the matter is this person, see, these little, you know, mundane, these little semantic details are another thing that I have a very, very short sense of patience for. This is a person who attacked our community by being a liar. This is a person who attacked our community by making us all feel stupid. Now, in my opinion, I felt that I was speaking for the community. Now, not in the sense that I was the vessel for the community to speak through. That's not what I mean. I was speaking in defense of the community, in my opinion. That's what I was doing. This is something that I do often. This is something I've always done since I've started this channel. That is a fact, and nobody can dispute that. And I have apologized for the fact that seeing someone become angry and raise their voice, that can be triggering for whatever personal reasons that you may have. And I understand that. And that is something that I do apologize for. I wish that I had kept my cool a little bit better. But some might take this as, you're just making excuses. You're just making excuses. I am. And I feel that I should be excused. Absolutely. Because we are all human beings, and we are all blessed, but also cursed with emotions. I am perfectly capable of being an angry person. There was a time where I was angry all the time. It took a lot of work, a lot of work to control this anger. I grew up as an angry kid, and the older I got, a lot of mistakes I made, and I have done as much as I can to control this, because nothing productive comes from being angry and losing control of it. That's a fact. I fully own that, and I fully understand that. But I'm not going to apologize for using a word because you happen to be a somewhat, I mean, I'm not, not a public figure that BHB thinks. I'm a public figure in the sense that I'm very public here, and there are 340 people watching right now. Whatever I say and whatever I'm doing is going to be very public. I don't think any of us can disagree with that. What bothers me is that because you are in public in some way, you have to censor yourself and be a certain way. And I don't know how to do that. I refuse to do that. When I'm holding myself back, when I'm holding my feelings back, when someone who is clearly a racist and lied to her community, and the only reason that she is continuing to try to validate herself is because she just wants validation in the community for God knows what reason, without actually admitting or apologizing for what she did. And right, thank you, Kevorkian Scarf. I would be doing, those of you in my chat who understand me and who expect me to be a certain way, which is the way that I've always been, I would be doing you a disservice if I censored myself. Everybody's always talking about how, Claire, Will, you're always so honest. You're always so raw. We appreciate that. It's so refreshing that somebody is finally up here being real. And then what am I going to do? To save a few subs, I'm going to give a half-assed bullshit dishonest apology, because then I'm fucking you guys over. Fuck the people who don't get it. Like, that's where that's where I'm at now. That's where I have decided to be. That's what this live is about. This live is more about a thank you to you guys for bringing me, after thinking and thinking and thinking and asking myself and second guessing myself and wondering what do I do to appease those people who I've somehow offended. Fuck those people I've offended. That's how I feel about it. It's really funny because, and any creator who acts like they don't care about subscriber counts, they're a liar. I was really excited about the fact that I'm on my way to getting to 20,000 subs. And I realized, man, that's awesome. And then I could just be like, oh, well, 20,000 subs, man, that's so close. Should I start, being this way and being that way just to get to that number? That number is just a number, man. Like, would I like to have that milestone? Sure. That'd be great. But one thing I have never done is the one thing that I'm not going to do in this case, is get those numbers by being something I'm not. Because those of you that are in my chat right now supporting me, those of you, you're the ones I do this for. And fuck everyone else. And I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So I'm watching my sub count go down, and I'm watching the chats that I go into where people used to be like, "Hey, what's up, Glare?" And I'd say hello. And that's not happening now, because I'm either in a chat where the creator doesn't know how to deal with it because they're worried about how other people are going to perceive them. What's the forecast like on whether or not we like the Glarer? I mean, fuck those creators too. Seriously. Because no matter what, if your ideals are on point, no matter what you say, no matter how you express yourself, if your ideals are on point, then I will support you. I've always been that way. No matter if you've had a temper tantrum or whatever the fuck, I have always supported every creator in this community with moral support, simply because I love people coming together and agreeing on an ideal, such as not victimizing victims further. Heels in the Air falsely represented victims in this community and made us all look like fools. That is a subject that I'm very passionate about. And because she made us all feel like fools, it made me angry. If somebody out of nowhere fucking just smacks your cousin in the face who you care about, it's going to make you angry. She slapped this entire community in the face. It made me angry. That is my excuse. And I stick to it. Now, if I had to do it over again, would I yell and scream the way that I did? No. But it's not because I might have offended some people. It's because I don't like being that guy. That is a side of myself that I don't like. That is a side of myself that I work very, very hard to keep under control and keep under wraps. So I'm here today to simply celebrate those of you who get this. I'm here to celebrate those of you who appreciate and see through this one act that really didn't hurt anybody, because it sure as fuck didn't. Because if it hurt you in some way, there's something wrong with you. In my opinion, there's something wrong with you if it hurt you. See, I was talking to somebody that I really care about, because this week is just a big mess. I'm only going to talk to you guys about YouTube related stuff right now. But the fact is I'm going through something very personal. It's very, very annoying and a little scary, if I'm being honest. The person who I care about more than anything in the world is going through something much worse. And this person is trying to comfort me, and I'm trying to comfort them, and I don't want my shit to be their priority, yet I don't know what I would do without their support. And it's just a big, ugly little thing, but the two of us seem to be very just finding this middle ground of being very happy and being supportive of each other. And I'm very grateful for that. But this thing right here is something that I don't mind discussing with you guys. And this person I was speaking with yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we started talking about something. And I started going into my opinions on the way things are today. We were watching a movie. Well, it started when I was watching this is not about politics, by the way. It's going to sound like it is, but it really isn't. This is about the human condition right now, in my opinion. But the American human condition. Because I am, first and foremost, a patriot. And I was watching a very old HBO miniseries from maybe like 2000, maybe 1999 or 98, maybe even. I don't know. But I was watching a miniseries about John Adams, one of the founding fathers of this country. And it was the most inspiring yet depressing miniseries I ever watched in my life. It was inspiring because that time where that was taking place, the only thing that mattered was freedom. The only thing that mattered to them, to all of those men, and even women, because John Adams' wife was incredibly supportive of him, and she was his best advisor, because her passions for his passions, not because they were his passions, they just happened to share the same passions. But as an American woman, she was passionate about freedom. So when I say men, I'm just being realistic in the sense that it was only men who actually made these differences. Women were very, very instrumental behind the scenes, but men were the ones in Congress and making decisions. Now, these were people at a time where freedom meant so much to them that farmers, shoemakers, anything that you can think of that people were doing to make an honest living were willing to die and kill for their freedoms. And then I thought about this. Watching this miniseries, I thought about this, and I compared that time to where we are today. 30 years ago, and I realize people are like, God, shut up, boomer. But it's a fact. I mean, I remember 30 years ago vividly. And I remember a time where even then, anybody would be willing to pick up a weapon and stand a post to protect their freedoms. Every single American was willing to do that. Every patriotic American. The flag meant freedom to them. They weren't just blindly going around and spouting shit because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And now, you compare that to now, because there was a time, this time that I'm discussing, no one would dare fuck with America. No one would even, the idea that anybody would fuck with America was so ridiculous because we just dominated. And we kept to ourselves for the most part. We intervened in some stuff. We did some dirty shit, no doubt about that. I'm not saying we were perfect. What I'm saying is when it came to our freedoms, that was something that we all agreed on. And we were all patriotic about that. And you look at the way things are now, what's going to happen is what's happening as opposed to back then. Oh, wait a second. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight Luann and Marty will be departing the Glare Airport in about 2 seconds, and buckle up and drive safe.
So, yeah, fuck off. Get out of here. I don't give a shit. Stay triggered, y'all. Exactly, Cherry. Because this is really funny that this is triggering people. I love that what I'm saying is triggering people because the truth triggers people, some people. But the truth is there was a time where we would do anything to protect our freedoms. Anything. And we were all together on this. Even if we didn't agree on political views, we all agreed on that. Except for a very small percentage of the population. Now, if you read Sun Tzu, The Art of War, and basically anything as far as war strategy goes, what is the most common phrase used? Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. And right now, our country is absolutely divided. And divided over what? Divided over what? And no, I'm not drunk. I'm drinking coffee, by the way, Gizmo. And that's another thing. Before I go back into that point, let me explain something to you about me drinking. Okay? First of all, I don't need to explain to anybody. I'm a grown fucking man, and I don't need to explain to anybody when I'm drinking or why I'm drinking. But I will let you know what is true just when I started this channel, as it is now, that I drink to celebrate, not medicate. And right now I got too much shit going on where if I drink, it would be to self-medicate. I don't have anything to celebrate right now. I don't drink to numb or run away. That is something I just don't do. And if I did, it would be my business. But it's something that has not changed. So right now, the best me is a sober me. And that's why I'm sober. But if I had things to celebrate, I might drink. I like to drink. I like feeling turned. I'm a grown man. If I'm meeting my responsibilities, kiss my dick. So, as far as, where was I? Sun Tzu, right? So Sun Tzu, The Art of War, divide and conquer. Very, very common war tactic. Because once a nation is divided, it is weak. And right now, people, there are 3 countries right now that hate our guts. What do you think is going to happen now? As opposed to, because there was a time where none of these countries would ever even consider invading us in a ground war. The movie Red Dawn was like so fiction. We were like, that would never fucking happen. When that movie was made, we were like, that would never happen. That's a joke. They would never do that. Too stupid. Because we were all, not only was our military strong, but it was the people that were strong. What are the people now? The people now are this. I can't believe he said that. You hurt my feelings. How dare you? Blah, blah, blah. This is how everybody fights their battles. Right here. Right. Roxanne Bright, that's a matter of opinion, but I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I'm not saying that I disagree with it either. I don't know that if our weakness had been planned, but the bottom line is the weakness is there. And right now, if one of these countries who have thousands of years of experience in ground war were to invade us, we'd get pummeled. We're just ripe for the taking. We're just ripe for the taking. And that is a matter of time, folks. Sorry if you don't want to hear it, but it is a matter of time. I mean, you could sit there and, you know, listen to your fucking Dave Matthews and fucking Rascal Flatts and fucking whatever the fuck it is that you listen to fucking pretend like we live in a perfect little, you know, woke society, but we don't. We don't. We're the most asleep country in the nation right now. There's nothing about this society that is woke. Absolutely nothing. Words that used to mean something mean the opposite now. That's where we're at. A word like cunt would never offended people so much. Now, obviously, there's more freedoms on public platforms where you could say it now, whereas people, you know, you could cuss on TV now and things of that nature. But what ends up happening is, well, yeah, sorry, no offense to y'all who listen to Dave Matthews, but our current president is pathetic. Absolutely. The one before him is too. And that's the thing, is there's this illusion that we either have to be on one side or the other. Grandmaster Sid Sophos, thank you. Sun Tzu is a legendary military strategist who revolutionized war and combat as we know it. Exactly. Everybody thinks that either you're with us or you're not. Everybody's got this you're with us or you're not attitude. I can't subscribe to that. I just can't subscribe to that. All right, let me stop you there. Now, let me do this personally. I'm going to get pleasure out of this. And some of you guys are going to say that I'm being a hypocrite by doing this. Well, I don't see it. Somebody get Marty the fuck out of here. Make sure she's not in here. I never want to see that fucker in my chat again. Because there's a difference between the word cunt and that disgusting word that she used to troll my chat. Thank you, Cherry. Cherry already knows. That word comes from a place of hatred. That word comes from a place of oppression. That word represents something that we as a society have grown so much from. And I won't abide by that, by the use of that word in this chat. I will not. And some of you might be saying, well, what's the difference between that word and cunt? I just answered you. I just answered you. Very different. I do not subscribe to hatred. There are men and women who are subject to well, hold on. Let me address this idiot real quick. So this guy just like worked his way to become as irrelevant as possible because he actually has no convictions. He likes to try to debate people, but has no point. So I'm not going to give him a mic at all. This is one of the only few people who I will block. He doesn't have any convictions behind what he says. Everybody, all of his viewers caught on to it. If you go watch him, the most views he gets is when he mentions my name, and he still can't even break 1,000. So I'm not even going to entertain that idiot's attempts to be relevant. But I am going to open the phone lines. eventually and let some of you, because I'm not going to make points that I'm making right now without giving you an opportunity to either disagree or elaborate. It's totally up to you. But I am going to open the phone line soon. But people like him, they like to spread nasty rumors about people. I don't deal with people who don't deal in facts. So we are in a place right now where we are weak because we somehow convinced each other that things that really don't matter. They just don't. To me, the word cunt is no worse or better than the word dick. No worse or better than the word fuck. No worse or better than the word goddamn. None. So this is why I feel that way. And the fact that we have somehow convinced ourselves that things that don't matter actually matter, and we're focused on these little things, has made us weak and has divided us. And one of these days, mark my words, one of these days, we're going to get invaded. Telling you right now, it's just a matter of time, because we are in the weakest state that this country has ever been. There is no question about that, because we are now all concerned with, and including myself, I'm not I'm not different than this, but we are all trying to be relevant with our opinions and with our social media followings. And we all want to be, we through the internet, we have found ways to be idolized like rock stars or like movie stars. We have all found this way to do that. And what are movie stars and rock stars like? Generally, they're spoiled and entitled. And you get a bunch of spoiled and entitled, a nation of spoiled and entitled people, you have a weak nation. So if I lose this channel tomorrow, I'm not going to sit there and wonder, shit, should I have been different? I'm going to lose this channel tomorrow if I do, and think I did it because I spoke my truth. I was completely honest, and I'm not going to regret it. And this is what you have always gotten from me, and this is what you will always have from me. That is my promise to you. Those of you who are supportive of me and supportive of this channel, that is something that I will always, always guarantee you. And if I apologized for being so passionate and so angry, if I were to apologize for that, then I would be doing you, my supporters, a misservice or disservice. Sorry. All right. If anybody wants to call in, it's open. I mean, yeah, like JLR posted. See, here's the thing: is I posted BX's I posted his mugshot because he was going around calling people criminals like he was on some high and mighty moral high ground. And all I was doing was pointing out, well, nobody really is. That was the point I was making. I didn't spread any lies about him. I didn't put out his real name. I didn't do any of that. Like, did you guys see me crying and whining when JLR put out my mugshot? Like, it is what it is. And what's really funny here, I got to point out the kind of things that these people are trying to discredit me with in things in my past. The only reason any of you motherfuckers know about it is because I said it. I'm the one who put that shit out there. You didn't do any digging and find this shit out about me. I did it. I did it on Paige's channel. She interviewed me for about 3 hours and I got extremely personal. And that shit is still up and available. I'm the one who put that out there because I know something about accountability. I am not going to get, you're not going to ever expose something about me that I haven't already addressed. And not only did I address it, like I said, I'm the one who put it out there. Nobody did any digging. Nobody exposed the glare. Like, and this is what makes them mad. Because these are doxing shitbags. And because they didn't get to be the ones to do it, then it's, and then they get all frustrated and mad at themselves, and then they take it out, and then they start making things up. Like, their favorite thing to talk about, and I'm reluctant in bringing this up, but their favorite thing to talk about is the fact that I admitted to, at one point, one occasion, hitting my kid when he was 17 years old. And that's something I regret. Not to you. I don't have to explain that to you. I would never tell anybody here how to raise their kids. It's none of my business. Right? But that's something I regret between me and him. And the reason why I don't go into details on that is because it's just as much his private issue as it is mine. And I would be disrespecting him by giving details on that. I will say that at the time, I felt justified in it. Even though nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. Again, I wish I would have found a better way to do it. But at the time, I had the attitude, that old school parenting attitude, like, all right, I've tried everything. I've tried this. I've tried that. I've tried this. It's time for you to put up your fucking hands. That was my attitude at the time. And that's the truth. I don't know how else to put that. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday, or today, actually. Not that issue, but I was talking about parents whipping a kid's ass. Because there's a term when you would do this. The term is tuning someone up, right? You tuned them up, right? Think about the meaning of that term. When you get a guitar to sound better, you tune it. When you want a piano to sound better, you tune it. That's the whole idea, is like, you know what? I don't know what else to do here. So it's time to tune you up. Now, it's something that I regret because it never fixed anything. It did not work out the way that I thought it would. It did not have the effect that I thought it would. And so in the end of the day, it turned out to be a useless and futile effort. and I end up hurting my kid and regretting it because my efforts didn't work. And I'm proud to say that the reason why it didn't is because he is a strong, resilient, intelligent, rational young man who found this within himself very much the same way that I did. Very much the same way that I did. I made my own improvements through my own decision making, through my own self-awareness, through my own accountability. I made those changes. And he did that himself. He didn't need me to do that. That's why I regret it. I didn't trust him to do it. And that I absolutely regret. I did not give him enough credit as an intelligent human being. I simply didn't. And that is why I regret it. Nobody wants to call in. I mean, nobody has opinions on this issue. I'm willing to address them. Oh, BX only has, he's just trying to pick up relevance for his channel. His channel is fucking tanked because he's a fucking douche and everyone sees right through him, and it's that simple. I mean, if, like I said, go look at his numbers. His numbers are crap. And he's just fishing for relevance. That's it. You're trying to call? Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on a second. I had the wrong phone number up. Try to call that one. That's my fault. Sorry about that, guys. And you know why his channel popped up on your news feed, Tracy? Because he was talking about me. It's the only reason. It is literally the only reason. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with SW.
SW, what's up?
Spot on, and you be you. You're spot on. The world is going to hell in a handbasket, and I'm not kidding.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, there's just no denying the facts, you know?
No.
I mean, history teaches us that the weakest point a country is when the stronger ones try to take it over. And we're just on that way. We're on that road. There's no way to deny it.
It is the 100% saddest truth ever.
Totally.
And I'm sorry for whatever the hell you're going through, but you be you, because that is so important. And that's why most of us are here.
And I realize that. And that's what this live is mostly about, is to thank you guys for seeing through all of the smoke and mirrors and the bullshit and all of the misdirection coming from all different places. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want. And if I lose 1,000 subs from this live, I will be perfectly fine with it.
Well, they keep screwing up the phone number, and you keep, I don't know what else, then I guess I'm out. I'm just kidding. I'm being a Karen. It was a joke.
No, yeah, sorry. All right. I'm going to take this next call. Thanks, SW.
You do that.
All right.
You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
This is Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I was just calling in because I was offended by the cunt thing.
Okay.
Like, I don't think many women want to hear about any cunts. And that's why I was saying that about nigger. Like, I don't think like that. I don't
Okay.
think like I would ever describe a woman as a cunt, and I would never describe another human being as a nigger. That was my point.
Okay. Well, you're
That was my
using a word to make your point that I wouldn't even
You don't have to
use
laugh at me.
because
You don't have to laugh at me. I'm telling you how I feel.
well, sorry, but what you're doing right now is I'm either gonna laugh at you or I'm gonna get mad. So
You're gonna
you can
laugh
put
at
up with me laughing at you.
Telling you that it makes me feel like you are being offensive to women by saying cunt.
And you don't think that
You're gonna
using the
laugh at me
N
about
word,
that?
you don't think that using the N word on my channel makes it.
I've never once.
You
in
just said
my
it twice.
Used that word.
You just said it
I've never
twice.
once. I said it because you're saying the C word. I'm trying to make a point. Do you understand?
Did you
that?
not hear my point? Do you know the difference between the nature of those two words?
My point is that it's not appropriate to say that, period. And I would never say the N-word, period. That's
Who
the only
who
time
the
I've ever done
fuck
that.
logs onto this channel for appropriateness?
Okay, it's fine.
Right.
I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm just trying to let you know how most women who like respect themselves don't want to hear that word.
Yeah, well,
I'm just
here's
trying
the
to let you know.
here's the
Get a
thing.
clue.
Heels in the air clearly doesn't respect herself because she's trying harder than anybody that I've ever seen.
I don't know anything about heels.
She's trying harder than anyone I've ever seen to maintain a false image.
Heels? We're not talking about heels. We're not talking about heels. I'm telling you specifically, cunt is not an appropriate word to say. Just like nigger is not an appropriate
Okay,
word
you're
to
done.
say.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything about heels. I have no idea about anything about heels. I'm a pretty well-rounded person. I'm just letting you know.
That's enough of that. You're not well-rounded, by the way. Oh my God. Okay, next caller, please. Jesus. Oh my God. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a cunt. Dude. Who am I speaking with? You're on.
Hey, how you doing, Will? This is Casey Glass.
Casey who?
Casey Glass.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I haven't talked to you since the whole stuff that happened down in Claremont County. If you remember me calling about the 3 that were murdered, the young kids
Okay.
in Claremont County, the doorman.
Okay. Right. The doorman thing. Right.
Yeah, that's when I talked to you last. Sorry. Yeah, the way I look at things, sticks and stones break bones. Names don't matter to me. You know.
Right.
It's just not an issue.
The
I mean,
thing is
people out there-
racial slurs do because racial slurs come from a place of hate. And it's interesting because a racist like Heels in the Air is the most dangerous of all racists. In my opinion. What's up, Ick and Mel? It's good to see you, buddy. The racial slurs hurt because they come from a place of hate, but not only a place of hate, they come from a place of oppression. They come from a place that are designed to hold a class of people down. And that I don't abide by. Now, the reason why she's dangerous because she's careful not to use the word, but what she does is her actions are that of someone trying to keep a certain racial class down, trying to discredit them as a race. Her website totally is a reflection of this. It is an expression of this, and it made me angry.
Oh, it made me want to call in because, like, out of all of the English language words, use that one, especially one that is really insulting.
Right.
You know, out of all the words, pick that one seriously.
And I could see the word cunt being offensive to women, but the thing is my actions are never that of someone who looks down on women generally. I support women. I've always been very supportive of women. My best friends are all women. I respect women more than I respect men. I think women are stronger than men. And I use the word cunt to describe many men. So it's just simply not comparable.
Yeah, people out there need to get tougher skin because we are living in a very ugly world right now. And it's not even healed from the effery that happened in 2020.
You can say fuckery, man. Like what gives you the idea you can't say fuckery on the phone with me here on this channel?
I just didn't want to be disrespectful. I'm sorry.
No, don't disrespect yourself by censoring yourself here, man. You can say whatever you want.
I just would love to honestly see everybody heal, but it's just simply not going to happen because of accountability.
Right.
And you do have to, if you're going to have a friendship with people, you've got to have structure, and you got to let them know out the gate what your stance is and what your do's and not do's in that relationship is. And maybe people can grow from what's happened and, you know, just not attack each other. Because at this point, from the viewership, I mean, people are losing my views just because I'm tired of them going after people, you know? I would like to see people just be the bigger person and squash it all out and ignore it like it didn't exist. That weighs more than you know. It can also make people change too, because when they're sitting alone and they don't have anything to combat, it makes them think deeper.
Right.
You don't give anyone, any leverage to get on that soapbox, you know?
Right.
It's already been talked about. Everybody's going to work through it in their own way. And there's just at this point, no point in attacking. Only defense mode people. If they come at you, that's a different story.
Right.
You know, you've got a good way of handling it on your platform, just like everybody else does. But just don't let someone drive you in a character that you don't belong in, the glare, you know?
Right.
Keep your head up. You're doing fine. You got support. And I just really thank you for letting people have an opportunity to come up, chop it up with you.
Yeah.
Say how they feel.
Absolutely. No, I mean, this is why I open the phone lines, is because you guys have a right to express your opinions. Absolutely. And I love this community so much. I'm not up here just to hear myself, you know. I love interacting with you guys. This is why I do this, is to interact with you guys. And once in a while, if I'm going to discuss something that is going to merit a lot of difficult opinions, they deserve to be heard as well as mine. So
yeah.
So thank you for calling in. It really means a lot to me. And that is not even an understatement. It really means so much to me that you called in and expressed your
opinions. I really
opinions.
appreciate you right back, the Blair. Just keep holding your head up. And don't let them bring out your bad side. That's what they want. We've all got a bad side. But if you don't let that fester out, dude, you're much richer for it.
That's the only reason I regret it, is because I people saw my bad side. That is my bad side. And I have it, but I'm human. We all have it, So to
really
sit here and
funny?
act all pearl clutching, like, oh, I can't believe he got angry. Like, are you kidding? Racism, blatant racism, and making you feel stupid for for seeing it and acting like it's not a thing is not infuriating to you. And I'm the bad guy for being infuriated over it. Okay.
Nah, we don't do that, mine. Okay.
Right. Like, come on. But yeah. So
kind of really ironic about the whole situation as I'm bouncing back and forth to see everybody's opinion in it, whether it be, Joneson, whether it be Queen Bee, whether it be Dolly. I absolutely do not watch Bullhorn Betty at all. I don't get that of you. And
I mean, I do, but just
to watch it unfold, I would just honestly love to see just people do, like Dolly do Dolly, and he's left alone. And also Joneson do Joneson, you do you. I hope we get to a future of that sometime near soon, because, I'm not going to hold against somebody their fault because I'm not a judge,
Right.
I would not want somebody judging me. Dude, I kid you not. I was almost in a situation kind of like Heels as far as lying to people about who I was, my identification. And I did it to protect my family, okay? And I was the biggest piece of crap. Well, a few of them founded me out. I called them up and I told them the truth, and I doxed myself to every one of them.
I mean, that's the thing is, if you dig enough on somebody in here, you're going to find something. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most cowardly, douchey, cunty thing to do, man or woman, to go digging in someone's past and try to use it to fucking discredit them just because you don't like them. Now, if it's relevant to their behavior currently on YouTube, that's a different story. Like Bullhorn Betty, her record that she doesn't take accountability for, by the way, is relevant to pointing out her bullshit on YouTube. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that, it's a little different, but just because you're in a back and forth with somebody in the fucking drama community and you're in a back and forth with them, and then you're like, well, shit, they're not going to show me, so I'm going to show them. And then they're going to call CPS on somebody and do this and do that. I can't even with that shit. I can't.
Yeah.
This is why I don't open my panel.
Yeah. But like taking accountability is what I'm talking about. I used to even be a member of the Bullhorn Betties, for maybe a month. And then I started figuring it out because I used to be a mod, over at Dolly. And then stuff just started getting too intense. Kind of like I saw a situation where it was an unfortunate one for me when I stepped in. It was a Simon case. But it didn't take me long to figure out that I needed to just get out because, honestly, I don't know what's going on over there. Just let Dolly do Dolly. Let Bullhorn Betty do her. And I just hope that they are just better for it.
Yeah, the only reason I call these people out is because it affects cases. It affects the integrity of investigations. These victims are being further victimized. That is a problem. That is something I have a problem with. Now, if Bullhorn Betty didn't sit here and act like she was an advocate for victims and then go show up and interfere directly with investigations on locations of crime sites, then I wouldn't give a shit that she was a hypocrite. It wouldn't matter to me. I wouldn't even give her a second thought.
Well, personally speaking for myself, what her downfall for myself was, honestly, is just telling the truth. You don't lie and say that you're not a friend with somebody. Example, she was friends with a YouTube channel creator named Voices Behind the Wall. And
Voices Behind My Balls?
Yeah, she said that she wasn't friends with her, but I ended up finding out that she was talking behind the scenes with her all the while. Billy Joe is moderated on Cher's channel. That is illegal. You cannot go third party. So Billy Joe screwed herself that way. So when you go out to try to help a case and you make it a lot worse.
Who's Billy Joe again?
Billy Joe is, I'm sorry. Are you okay, girl?
Don't kill your dog.
Oh,
Just ask the question.
She's okay. That was, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Who's Billy Joe again?
Oh, that's Leilani. That's her mother.
That's right. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's right. She got all buddy with her,
And look, I'm into all. If you want to know the facts, what could have happened, 3 to 5 years in jail, she would have served because that was inciting a riot. Cher cannot send people out there to harass the protesters.
Right.
That's inciting a riot.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they were getting into situations I didn't even want Dolly in.
Well,
I'm
right.
like, bro, get the hell out. Get the hell out.
Right.
You know, he went down there in good heart to hang posters and get those pictures up there. But when he got there, we all learned that he already passed, see?
No,
So we
he
were
told
already
his
planning
viewers that was what he was going to go out to do. That's the difference. He had every intention of doing exactly what he did. So, yeah, everybody wants to be like, Dolly's this nice guy with all these great intentions. Like, have you ever watched this guy go out there and investigate? It's the funniest shit in the world. Like, I could watch that shit all day. Like him in his snake boots, hilarious.
No,
It's just classic.
No.
It's just very
I
funny.
got away because, like, I don't want drama.
Poking,
you know?
poking stuff with sticks. What's that right there? Is that a thing? What's that? Yeah, it's just comedy to me.
Yeah.
But when you're yelling and screaming and disturbing neighbors who are possible witnesses that may have to testify in a trial, well, you're interfering with an investigation. Like assaulting women, like grabbing bullhorns from people and people putting their hands on each other and yelling and screaming in each other's faces right outside somebody's house. Like,
it was an intense situation. That's true.
It was a circus, you know, and then on top of that, insulting and trying to turn people against Chief Hadley, who was, you know, conducting a very, very tedious investigation. You know, I mean, no respect for those officers who were digging through 2 million pounds of garbage to find a deceased infant decaying. Sorry for the colorful description, but it's the truth.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Did you know that the bailiff of Chatham County is the one who bailed Dolly out?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's facts. The bailiff bailed him out.
Wow.
So there's a lot more to the situation, you know, than meets the eye. I mean, we can't go on judging everybody because, look, everybody out there is trying to make a living, and we can only try to teach each other, but accountability, people have got to start stepping up. Everybody messes up. Let's just try really hard not to, like, chop each other up, because I miss everybody's channel, and I would like to see them do good things from everything they're trying to do. Bringing an awareness on a missing child is big thumbs up in my group. You know, he helped, you know, Monkey Vaughn's case and Brandy.
Oh, and that brings that. Yeah, today marks the day where Monkey Vaughn went missing. So I want to make sure everybody's aware of that.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years now.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're praying people, just throw some love out there to Brandy. To Brandy Neal, because I can only imagine what she's going through today. So our thoughts should be with her right now. Most definitely.
I'm so glad that everyone's left her alone, because I remember seeing a post on the news. She literally, Brandy asked on mainstream media, please, YouTubers, leave my family alone.
Right.
And
yeah.
So far, respectively, I've seen people do it.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, and there's a lot of positive in this community too, and I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, as long as we get their pictures out there, that's a good start.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Blair, for your time. I appreciate it, and your audience.
You're welcome.
Much love from Michigan.
Thank you for calling.
Frosty out there. I'm with no power right now, out in Michigan. So, hope you guys have your lights on.
Right on. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's super hot too. So, man, you people.
You're not up north. It's not. It's 79 right now.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Just God bless you, Blair, and all your watchers too.
You too. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
I'm sorry. Hello?
Yeah, you're on. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm going to go by Amethyst Bull
Okay.
for my anonymity.
Anonymity. Anonymity.
There we go.
And trust me, I'm not looking down on you for mispronouncing a word, because I am the worst at it. So it's a weird word to pronounce. It took me a while at first too. I had to like get used to saying it, because you say it in this community a lot when you do live streams. Anonymity. I have to say it like 10 times a day. So I get it.
It's exactly. I just wanted to kind of share that I think there are certain words that we use to express our anger. And certainly I'm in a male-dominated field, so I've been called probably every imaginable thing out there when I'm, quote, difficult. And I don't take it personally, but the words that are used or that are driven out of ignorance and bigotry and hatred, those are the words that are not okay. There's no excuse for that. And it's the action that follows those words that really kind of are very telling about the individual. And I also think when creators use words like advocate or standing up for a victim, and again, their actions are more towards, exposing and grifting based off of those actions, that's also very telling and certainly leaves a negative kind of taste in your mouth and being able to monitor or want to watch those particular creators. So I didn't have a lot to say, but I just kind of wanted to say that and put that out there.
No, that's what open phone lines are for. I'm really glad that you called in and expressed yourself, because I agree with you completely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I was not offended by your use of the word. I thought it was done out of anger and passion, and that's okay.
It was anger. It was definitely anger. But thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Claire. My name's April.
Hi, April.
I actually am a fan of Toasties, but I pop in every now and then to check out, what the shit's going on.
Hold on a second. I got to give Down the Rabbit Hole News a shout out. I didn't give her a shout out, and I feel bad. I just kept getting distracted. But Down the Rabbit Hole News is in my chat, and I got to give her a big shout out because she is doing fantastic shit right now. So big shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole News. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I get it. The super chats and everything. No, I was gonna say that it's just I'm not surprised anymore. It's just what's gonna go on next, because this is just the rabbit hole that we're in. So like new shit. Okay, great. Now what else are we doing? Just getting into further crap.
I mean, there's always going to be something, and
there is.
And I am subject to losing my temper from time to time, and I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
No, shoot the shit.
I mean,
go ahead, do what you do, because I was gonna do it too.
I'm not gonna judge anybody else for losing their temper, because something that they feel very strongly about is
exactly
a thing. So, and
right.
I'm human, so
of course.
I do apologize to those people who I may have brought back some ugly memories to, because they've suffered from someone being angry at them all the time or something like that, whatever the case may be. But I mean, I'm not going to apologize to somebody who's never seen somebody lose their temper, because sorry, that's part of life. You know what I mean? Like, you're actually welcome for that. So
great.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like you said, like losing your temper, obviously there's a reason behind it. And it's not even about judgment. It's about where's the conversation going with what you're saying, right? So being passionate about something, there's something behind it, right? Even if you didn't have the temper, there's still passion, right?
Sure. Well, I mean, I was passionate about the issue, but I'm not going to sugarcoat
definitely no.
anger by calling it passion. You know what I mean? Like, I got very passionate about that. No, I didn't get passionate. I got fucking mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's a fact.
Definitely.
It's undeniable.
Definitely.
Now, I got mad because somebody was sitting there treating me like I was a fucking idiot about an issue that I'm very passionate about. But
you are right. Right. And anger is a common emotion, and we are human, like you said. Anger's there. you know, that's something we have, right? And I agree with you. It's definitely more than passion. There's a message behind that. You know, like, I'm mad with what you're doing, and clearly you're not doing the right thing here.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's just, you know, it's just another day in the YouTube, you know, shooting the shit with Betty and Battery Betty. Can't stand her.
Oh man,
God.
she's so fucked.
Yes, she is. She better be.
Speaking of down the rabbit hole news, she went over, and this is another reason why I really want to give her a shout out, because she put so much work into redacting that court document so she could share it. That must have been so tedious. Like, I watched that and I was just like, God, that must have been so tedious. And it's not, she didn't even have to like redact, you know, BHB's real name, because she just goes around saying her real name all the time.
Burnt Toast did the same thing, and I commend her for that. She did it for Queen D, but also Battery Betty. Say that 5 times fast. Shit. I mean, I can't. And Toasty said the same thing. Like, I don't respect the bitch, but at least I'll respect her enough to not dox her on my channel, and I commend her for that. So.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, you know, we need to put some new batteries in this bitch. You know, Blair, do you have the batteries for the Battery Betty?
Do I have the what?
The batteries. We need to put some new batteries in this bitch.
Oh no! No. She needs.
We need some dead batteries. We need some batteries that don't work.
Somebody might take that the wrong way. Careful how you word things. It's not. No. We just.
You know.
We.
You know.
She needs batteries for something else. I recommend she gets batteries for whatever is leaving suction cup rings on her bathtub. That's what she needs batteries for. Other than that,
I need even batteries like, you know, she only operates every now and then, because the circuits, you know, they work every now and then, and then she shuts off. You know what I mean?
Totally. I'm going to take this next call. Thanks for calling.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for the chat. Enjoy.
Right. Bye. You're on. Who am I speaking with? You're on. Who am I speaking with? Yeah.
Oh, this is Krusty. I'm so sorry. I didn't expect you to get on so soon. Hello, how are you?
You're this Krusty?
Yes.
Krusty? Don't get rusty with the trusty busty Krusty McCrusterson. What can I help you with?
So I tuned in late to the call-in show, so I apologize for that. So I apologize if I am missing the scope of the conversation, but the reason I am calling in is because I just saw, let me confirm this first. Is this partially about heels?
Partially, sure. I mean, yeah, it was more about the community and you know, people not knowing how to feel about the Glera right now, because he called Heels a cunt and yelled. So so I just wanted to address the elephant in the room. And so if you're having trouble with forming an opinion on me based on that, I hope I grease the wheels for you in whichever direction you're going. That was the purpose. So
I apologize then, because I'm jumping on with something.
No, I mean, speak your mind.
Well, since I've been invited to do so, I come from a background where I grew up looking at the Jet magazine with Emmett Till's battered face on it. I was about 5 years old in my grandmother's house. She would keep it on her coffee table, and she would keep it open for everyone to see, because that was what his mother, Nanny Till Mosley, wanted. And so I remember being a child, about 5 years old. And I'm African American. I'm Black. I was born in 1980. My grandmother was born in 1912, and my mom was born in 1948. So I was about 5, and I saw that Jet magazine, and it terrified me. And I remember crying and turning away, and my grandmother.
What was on the Jet magazine?
Are you familiar with the story of Emmett Till?
I'm not.
Okay. Emmett Till was a 14-year-old boy from Chicago.
Okay.
His father died in the war, and his mother sent him down to Mississippi to visit with kinfolk. So she sent him down there for the summer, said goodbye to him, thought he was going to be in good hands, and then returned to her back to Chicago at the end of the summer. The story is that while at a store owned and operated by Carolyn Bryant and her husband, he whistled at Carolyn Bryant. However, evidence now shows that, well, let me go back. So allegedly, he whistled at Carolyn Bryant, and in response, a lynch mob was gathered for the 14-year-old. He was pulled out of his bed, out of his relative's house. They were threatened with violence, so they did not intervene. He was beaten. His eye was gouged out. His teeth removed. His genitals cut off, and then he was shot in the head and dumped in the water.
Jesus Christ.
His body was missing for several days, and so when they finally pulled this out of the water, he was obviously voted from that. And it was hard to recognize who he was, and so at first they couldn't tell that was Emmett, but eventually they were able to recognize him, and they informed his mother back in Chicago that her son had been murdered. She wanted her son returned to her, so they sent his body back from Mississippi up to Chicago via train. And when she saw him, removed him from the casket and saw him for the first time, she saw the state that he was in and how he was black. And lynchings weren't uncommon. They happened quite frequently.
Right.
To the point that the families in Mississippi knew what was going to happen to him. But, you know, maybe the black folk up north, they were a little bit more distant, weren't aware of just how reactive white folk were down south. So she decided that the world needed to see what happened to her son. And historically, whenever a person was lynched, typically their body was either burned or immediately buried, and the evidence was gotten.
Right. I'm hearing this a lot too, is, you know, the mom wanting people to see, you know, this is what they did to my son. Somebody else brought up Emmett Till before. It just slipped my mind. I wanted you to explain it to refresh my memory, but I do know of the story that you're talking about. And this is an issue is and this is something that's been pissing me off lately too. I'm gonna take a second to address it. Is there are other creators who shared Kendrick Johnson's autopsy photos, who was a minor, and the justification that I keep hearing is, well, I contacted the mom and asked them if it was okay if I showed the autopsy photos on my channel for content. I can't imagine why anybody would feel the need to show those autopsy photos at all. I don't see what good would come from it. And B, why would anybody feel comfortable calling the mother of this victim and asking them something like this? I just don't see the justification for it. Now, maybe the intentions were good in the first place, but you're not going to deny to me that it wasn't about your content. You're just not. You know, because I think there are plenty of other ways that, without having to disrespect this young man's memory, you could have absolutely create awareness on the issue. So I just wanted to address that real quick. I did a poll on my channel just to ask people generally, to address that excuse. And I think it got like a 90 something. Let me see real quick. I'll double check this real quick because I left the poll up. So let's take a look. Because I like to use the community the community post feature to I like to use the community post feature to ask my community where they're at. And hold on. And right here, I asked, once autopsy photos were leaked, because Heels in the Air did leak the Kendrick Johnson photos, she admits to it, would you reach out to the parents and ask permission to use them for content on your YouTube channel, even though the parents used them in anger to protest the lack of justice? Because they did. Because what happened was Heels she leaked the photos, and she admitted to me in an email that she has requested minor photos. The email is self-explanatory. It's totally an admission. And I asked, and the two options were absolutely. If that's the case, they need to be seen. And then the other option was absolutely not. I can't imagine how it could be necessary. 92% of my community said absolutely not. How could it be necessary? I can't imagine how it could be necessary. So I use the community post sometimes to validate myself. Like, am I being a dick? Am I being judgmental? Am I not understanding something? And my community absolutely spoke up and cleared that right up for me. So anybody who shared those photographs, I cannot get behind whatever excuse they used for it. So I just wanted to make that point.
Thank you. Because it's for me at least, it's a thin line. And so can I give your audience a homework assignment if they're interested?
I mean, they're not going to do it, but go ahead, especially Cherry.
Yeah, they don't have to turn it in. But if they're interested, look up something called the Red Summer of 1919.
Okay.
So the Red Summer of 1919. So I'm just going to give a brief history. I'm going to try to do it very briefly. So we all know about the Civil War. We all know about the Reconstruction period. We know that the Reconstruction period triggers essentially the rise of the KKK and anti-Black sentiment. And so where there was a lot of progress made to fully integrate African Americans into American society, there was a period of time where there was massive violent movements to foil or to frighten African American communities. So in 1919, during the whole summer, there was multiple race riots that occurred from Georgia, I think, down to Mississippi and other places. Now, I mentioned my grandmother was born in 1912. She was born outside of Macon, Georgia. So I'm getting to a point. And she was 7 years old when that Red Summer occurred, and she survived two race riots. And the first one, both of them involved relatives. One was, I think, her mother's brother or first cousin. I don't know exactly. But he had been registering or trying to get people to register to vote. And he ended up dressing as a janitor, sneaking into the courthouse and casting his vote. And then the white folks learned about it, and they gathered a lynch mob and hunted him down.
Okay, I understand that some horrible stuff happened here, and these are some great examples of a real problem in racism in the country and whatnot. But my chat right now is kind of wanting to know where this is going exactly. I don't mean to be rude, but you know,
I can't see the chat, so I don't know.
No. That's why I'm letting you know. And what you're saying, these are very important things, but I kind of have to keep the phone lines moving too. But like, I really want to know like where you're going with this, so that the chat has something to take out of this.
Okay, so where I'm going with this is that, and I was trying to make a connection between what you were saying about the release of Kendrick photos and Mammy Till and all that. So this is all about lynching and the fact that historically Black people have used photos as a way to press upon those who have power and influence to make change.
Right.
So to humanize the pain that we go through, because
I see what you're saying.
14-year-old.
So there's a big difference between why a Black family who lost somebody close to them from a hate crime would share those photos in order to shock people into understanding this is what's happening to us.
Exactly.
So that's right. I mean, but that's for them to do. You know what I mean? So
Right. And
that's not for us. You know, that's not our call to make. That's theirs.
Right. And I guess where I'm coming from and where I'm getting to is when my grandmother was alive in 1919, she left, and the stories left with the people, you know, as they died, because there wasn't that many records. So you have the oral tradition of this race riot occurred, this person survived, this is how they survived, this is how they died, and this is what happened to their body. There weren't many photos taken. So that was why when Mammy Till made that decision, it was so important. Now, fast forward to today where, you know, you're walking down the street and everybody has a phone and can take pictures and document things.
Right.
Where I'm coming from is I can see why his family would say, I want people to know about my son's story. But my issue is that people who post those photos now, how do I want to say this? They now own it in the sense that they have the power to keep it up or they have the power to take it down.
Right.
And once they have the power to disseminate it or have the power to not disseminate it like that, then I think, and I'm saying outside of the victim's families, and I think it loses its power. Because if she or anyone got annoyed, they could remove it. Or if they wanted to, they could add or edit it and exploit it. And that's where I'm coming from, is that I think nowadays these images are used to exploit and to shock and not necessarily to inform and humanize the victim.
Agreed. I agree 100%.
And so I'll keep moving because I'm just a storyteller to put context, but I've been connected to a family who survived that, and so I know why they want to maintain that record. Otherwise, these people and their stories get lost in history, so you want to document it. But at the same time, when it's taken from us and someone else holds the power to disseminate it, it loses its impact.
Right.
So I appreciate you letting me on, and I'm sorry for boring your chat. But
No, you didn't bore anybody. It was just, you know, it's but I realized that in order to illustrate your point better, you had to kind of build up to it. And I understand that. And the chat understands that now. So don't worry about it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, you have a good night.
You too. Thanks so much. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, hey. What's up?
What's up?
I didn't think I was going to make it on here.
Yeah, sorry.
This sounded like a better idea like a couple shots ago. I'm just saying, like, you drink, like, celebrate, you know, that's all cool. But, you know, not everybody's figured that out. Just fucking leave, man. Hey, so this thing's all about, what? This is about Cherry. Not Cherry. Her ears just perked up somewhere. But anyway, this is all about heels, correct? I mean, this is like kind of the source of everything that you're having these problems with, some of the issues.
She's a strong example of it, yeah. But I mean, what it is that people who have been listening to me for a long time clearly haven't had an understanding of who I am and what I do here. That's the issue. So that was the issue I was trying to address. But yeah, okay.
Well, look, I'm gonna be like real honest with you.
Sure.
If if they watch your show like more than 5 or 6 times, no, I'll take it back. Like 2 or 3 times, and they don't really understand what the MO is around your part. They're kind of stupid. You know,
I'm in full agreement with you, man. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. I mean, like, what do you think I've been doing up here this whole time? You know, like this whole time that I've been on YouTube, what do you think I've been doing? So I agree with you exactly. Like all of a sudden people are lost and like, wow, oh my God. Like, so did you just realize that I'm not, did you just realize that I think people who harass families and especially via racism is not going to fucking make me mad as shit? Like, did you just now realize that I actually care that much about it? Jeez, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time all this time.
Thanks for the watch hours, asshole, and I get out.
Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, well, I got just, a couple more things, unless you want me to get
No,
out.
go ahead.
So the thing is, like, with with heels and everything else, I think, you've been doing this for a good little while, so you kind of get the way it goes. It's hard out in these YouTube streets, man, but it's like a microcosm of who and why you should trust somebody and who you shouldn't, or who you should invest in. Like these people, like, part of the problem nowadays is I'm 27 years old, back in my day or whatever, but it used to be like, hey, there's this funny person on YouTube. He's got a lot of good commentary. They have a lot of good commentary that I tend to agree with. Some of it I don't. And then when you put the phone up, that's it. Like, people are looking at these people and they're like, they're developing these parasocial relationships with these creators. And it's like, when the stream is done, like, you appreciate everything, all your viewers and everything, and you try to do right by them. But when the show is done, that's the extension of the relationship. I'm sorry. It's just what it is.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed.
With somebody on a telephone screen. It's just not, it's not healthy, number one.
Agreed.
You need to get out. You need to learn how to develop social skills, interact with somebody face to face. It's like the meme. Oh, dude, you should go touch grass. But there is something to it. They don't become memes because there's nothing to it. They become popular because there's some validity to the argument.
Sure.
Like, people are going to disappoint you. I'm sorry. That's just fucking way she goes. Fucking way she goes, he says. Hey, if you get that reference, it's good. If not, it fell flat. But anyway, if people are going to let you down, man, and it's like, oh my God, this person I had so much invested in through a telephone screen is letting me down.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Here's the thing.
You have really no avenue aside from calling in.
I'm glad you brought that up because my opinion, like I brought up that point where I put up the poll on community asking myself, because the reason why I did that was because one of the creators who did this and justified their actions is a creator that I truly like and respect. But I don't want people to think that just because they did something that I disagree with, that my opinion of them and their character is any different. It's not. I just want to be clear and make it clear to the community that just because it's somebody that you like and respect, it doesn't mean that everything they do is going to be okay. You know what I mean? And it's
exactly.
I would not want a community who is going to just agree with everything I say just because I'm the one saying it. There's nothing in that for me. You
It's
know,
boring and dumb. And
right,
stupid, and
right.
There's
Nothing in
there's
that
no
for me.
substance to it. Like
I love that my chat can call me out when I'm wrong. I love that my chat, because I mean, it happens all the time. Like, I'll get a detail in a case wrong that I'm covering, and then I have this support where they'll be like, no, Will, that's not true. This, and this. And then I'm like, oh shit, let me look that up. Holy shit, you're right. Thank you guys. I don't want to spread any misinformation. This is why I have a chat. You guys are amazing. I mean, I'm nothing without this community. You know what I mean? So I am grateful for it, you know, but that's the difference, is you have to look at the creators, in my opinion. You know, you benefit more from creators who are grateful for their chat versus creators who think that they have some sort of hierarchy over their chat. Because, I mean, what the fuck is that? Because all you're doing is attracting people who with weak spines and no conviction behind anything they say. I don't want to chat like that. You know what I mean? That's
You're
pathetic.
creating a caste system. You're creating a caste system that consists only of yes men, and it's a point system of, you know, I like you. You represent the views closest to mine. So therefore, in this little thing we got going on in this chat room, you're going to take precedent over others that don't quite have the same views. I think that's a microcosm of how many times I take a drink every time when I say microcosm.
I mean, if I was drinking, but I'm just drinking coffee.
But it really is a way of judging by, you know, a lot of the reason why society itself is kind of fucked right now is the fact that people are, you know, taking views of somebody, whether it be political, religious, whatever it is. We're getting real philosophical here, Blair. All right. But anyway,
Hey, the chat wants to know who you are. What's your name?
I don't know. Okay. I'm one of those. Can you mention channels here? I'm one of those. I'm one of those that hangs out with that old guy, Mr. So Mean Gray. I mean, I love him so much, man.
Oh yeah, any supporter of any supporter of Gray is welcome here anytime, man. Gray's awesome.
Oh, he's great, man.
Yeah, this
He's
channel
so
is
great.
absolutely a Gray supporter for sure.
I like him, but you know, I like him for the fact that some people don't like him for some reason. And like when I look at somebody,
Yeah,
and
all
I
freaks
see
here.
someone
All
that
freaks here.
I want
Absolutely.
to talk to, and I say, okay, who are the people that don't like him? Okay, what are those people?
See,
what
I
are the
love that you're
character of
making
those
that
people?
point.
What do they have to bring to the table?
I love
Are they
that you're
assholes?
making
Are
that
they
point.
useless or whatever? If they don't like him, then I like that
You
guy.
got to look
I
at the
want to be
substance.
around that guy.
You got to look at the substance of the people who support certain creators. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That matters. You know, it absolutely matters. So I'm really glad that you brought up that point. You know, because I'm really proud of my community, because there's a logical people who question everything, including me. They question everything. That's the kind of that is the sign of an intelligent person who wants to learn. I don't want people who are just looking for somebody to you know agree with and oh my god, we love you, blah blah blah. That's fucking waste of my fucking time and energy, man. Like, what am I doing this for? So I mean,
Blair, look, the next time you accuse me of being intelligent, it's over. All right.
you are, man.
Sick and tired of that.
Yeah.
Sick and tired of that, man.
You are,
Accusing
man.
me of being intelligent and rational. It's crazy. You're a crazy guy, man.
I mean,
But, yeah.
using big words like microisms and whatnot. I love it.
That's right. Micro something. Whatever.
Micro
it is.
something. Yeah, I
but
never
my
heard that
name
word
is
before. You learn a new
I'm
thing every
Revenge.
day. See what I mean? I got
So,
supporters.
yeah.
They're teaching me shit. I love it.
But yeah, that's my name. I'm Revengeance. I lurk around in the chat sometimes, first time, long time here, but yeah, that's my name. It's Revengeance, and I'll come around every now and then, and I just like you, man. It's just,
Well, I like you too, man.
I just want everybody to understand that there is boundaries to this, all right? Because everybody is going to disappoint you. It's just part of life.
Yeah, it's like, how do you handle that disappointment? You know what I mean?
Stop associating someone's political beliefs with their moral character.
Totally.
That's just it.
Totally. Great point.
I'm conservative. I'll tell you right now. But you know what? I have more, as I've grown older, I have more liberal friends than I do conservative. Because I
same here.
This is a we're going to talk about how great I am, but I love talking to people that I don't necessarily agree with. It's fantastic because it doesn't happen anymore. Like, you get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm in this giant echo chamber. I need to find somebody who's going to challenge. I want somebody who will challenge my views. That's what I want. Because I want to have a point of view that will stand up to criticism. It's like, if you don't ever have anybody to ever question you, whether it be what you're doing in your own life, your personal life, whether it is you're doing growing up in your job, in your, anything like that, any pursuit that you have in life, if you have nobody there to challenge you, challenge your ideas, you're surrounded by people who agree with you. When you get out into another area of life, you're going to get crushed, man. It's just the way it's just the way she goes. You're going to get crushed if you don't have ideas that will stand up to criticism, and you're able to get along with those people. I have so much fun with people I don't agree with.
Think about it like this. Here's an analogy for you. Like, would being in love with someone else be exciting if there wasn't the risk of heartbreak? You know what I mean? That's what, like, truly being in love with another human being means giving them your heart. It means giving them, like, making yourself totally vulnerable to them, and trusting them with all of your deepest feelings. And so, when people are like, oh my God, I'm just scared of getting my heart broken. That's the fun, put your heart in their hands. And then, you know what? If you get your heart broken, you learn to live with it. You learn to get over it, and you know what to do and what not to do next time. There's nothing wrong with that.
And if you have the capacity to, I'm gonna go beyond personal, intimate relationships. But if you have the capacity to do, I guess, a post-mortem, if something happened between you and the person you love, or you're in a relationship with somebody, or even just a friend, if you don't have the ability to go back and do a post-mortem and say, okay, what happened here? Why didn't it work? How did I contribute to it? And it's just a skill. It's a part of life that is just lacking.
Hey, your boy's in chat right now.
Well, I believe the things that I do, but you need to go. So
speak of the devil and he will appear. Your buddy's in chat right now, Gray Hughes.
Is it Gray?
Yeah, he's in here.
He'll tell me that I'm crazy. Listen, he'll be like, man, don't listen to this guy. He's crazy. I love Gray, man.
Yeah. No, I love that about Gray too. Gray doesn't put up with any shit, and he will tell you what he thinks. I love that. He ain't worried about what you think.
Gray and I get after each other sometimes in the chat. And when I call him, he's great. I mean, we crack up and talk and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, you can't, it's so hard to convey emotion or whatever over chat. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'm going to say this to be sarcastic, but guess what? I sound like an asshole. And it's like, when you get on the phone with somebody, it's like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? You been all right? Everything going good for you? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Okay, man, I'll talk to you later. Good to talk to you. It's like, that's it. It's like, that's what you have to, like, putting everything into perspective. Like, what's your relationships online? What do you expect out of the certain community? And I'm sorry, I kind of cringe at that word because the true crime community really needs to do some housekeeping, And
That's
it's
what
like,
this.
what
That's
you
what this
expect from
one's
those
about. Like, I
relationships
just
and what
didn't
you
want.
expect from the relationships outside of that, like people you see every day, your wife, your husband, kids, whatever. You have to put those into two different categories and keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll let you go.
All right,
Good to
brother.
talk to you. All right.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was quick. I'm sorry. I have a million billion kids so that you might hear. This is Rosanna.
Hi, Rosanna.
Hi. So I just wanted to call in as your resident nerd to give you the origin story of the C word.
The origin story. Do you have an origin story of it?
Well, like the etymology, right?
Okay.
I did a paper on this in college.
You did a paper
so
on the word cunt.
yes.
I love
I
it.
hope I can do it justice.
Let's hear it. I mean, don't read the paper, but give me a
I
synopsis.
don't have it. Oh my God, that was 17 years ago. I don't have it.
Please give us all a synopsis.
Okay, so it basically comes from the word. Well, so there's a lot of theories. So there is the Indian goddess.
Okay.
Kuti, okay, and there's some Latin words, right, that also go with the C word. Again, I don't hate it at all, but I'm just like, I've been raised to like not like it or whatever. But so there's the word, the Latin word kunis, and that means the sheath of a sword.
I like that word.
Right. Kind of makes sense, right?
Kunis.
Yeah. And then
Hold on, I gotta say it one more time. Kunis. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so kunis, and keep this in mind for what's coming up later that was in my paper. Okay, and so then there's the Latin word that is cuniculus, and that means shout out to our girl, rabbit hole.
Okay.
Okay, so these. So
Wow,
these are all,
that's so insulting. Oh my God.
Exactly. These are all possibilities of the word, of the C word. Now, we're going to take a quick sidetrack.
Like you're making cunt sound like a term of endearment now.
Right? No, well, exactly. This is
I love it. What
and
yeah.
Then,
dude, 843 Amy just asked the question that was just about to come out of my face right now. What grade did you get on the paper?
Oh, I got an A. It was women's studies at the University of Michigan.
Best caller ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hell yeah.
I got an A. I'm a total nerd. So then you backtrack to the word vagina, right? So vagina is Latin for a sheath or husk covering something.
Okay.
So super similar, possibly a little bit more degrading than the sheath to a sword, right?
Right.
Like you talk about it, it's like vagina is like the husk covering a corn. So
wow.
How is the C word different than vagina, right?
I'm telling you, knock it off. You're gonna make it move. I love it.
Right. So then the final point of my paper was my toddler's calling me. So the final point of my paper is that the actual word that is degrading to women is hysteria. This is basically comes from the Latin to problems from the uterus. That's what it translates to.
Okay.
So she's hysterical. You're saying that her uterus is causing her to go crazy. Now, I know in modern times, men and women.
I've been accused of that before.
Right. But isn't that interesting that
it's
hysteria
fascinating.
Is actually like a super, every time I hear it, I'm like I said, I understand that it's used differently now. I get it. But it's still a very yucky origin word. The origin of hysteria is super sexist. It means emotions coming from your uterus that are causing you to go crazy.
So hysteric. So if you call a woman hysterical, that's sexist and degrading.
Yeah. Yes.
Got it.
way worse than the C word.
I would never call a woman hysterical. That would be.
Thank you. Thank you. and by the way, I just want to say, I am a person of color. I'm biracial, so I've gotten like some, again, people have said like super weird stuff to me. And you hit the nail on the head when you said that first caller who was talking to was like saying the N-word like crazy. Like,
can you believe that shit? Can you believe?
Yes.
Can you believe that hysterical coolness? Unreal.
Right. Kunis, there you go. See, Kunis. He's Pterosaur. Exactly. And she's like, it's the same as the
She was
N-word.
hysterical as fuck.
She was hysterical. She deserves that. She deserves that title. Crazy.
Oh
I
my
couldn't- I
God.
was
You're
like,
killing me right now.
she knows, obviously she knows nothing about race theory or anything. It was just, that was bonkers. But you hit the nail on the head. Those words, all of the racial slurs you can imagine were made, like you said, to oppress people. But the C word coming from whether you want to know whether it was an Indian goddess or the Greek word kunis, nothing oppressive.
Nothing impressive.
No.
So can I ask you real quick, what is it that you have a degree in? Because that was a college paper, right?
Right. So again, I'm a super nerd. So I really enjoyed college and took all kinds of classes. I actually got
Jesus
my
Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I think something is.
I love
wanna go
school.
back, but I actually got my pre-med degree, but I really enjoyed literature and Latin.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
So I'm a physical therapist.
Okay. My brother's a physical therapist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smartest guy I know.
Yeah, it's a fun job, and we hate chiropractors, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hates lawyers more though because he's
Right.
yeah.
Lawyers. My sister's a lawyer, so we love.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to call in. It was bothering me because I'm like, everyone's saying this is a negative word, and it truly, in fact, anyone who knows, like, Geoffrey Chaucer, the Canterbury Tales.
Somebody clip this caller. Absolutely. Somebody clip this caller. Thank you so much. Oh no. You weren't done. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, the Canterbury Tales were written in the 1800s, but it's this long poem. It's taught. It's this, and I took AP English in high school. This is taught in high schools, and it has the C word in it a few times.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah, and Jack Kerouac, everyone loves him, right?
Right.
On the road, the C word.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, this was my paper. Like I said, got a good grade, but I stand by it.
Right on. I love it. Y'all clip this caller. Spread the word. Teach people. Educate. I love it.
Word. It is not. One of my favorite podcasters has a show called See You Next Tuesday.
Gray, I got you 1 second. Let me finish with this caller and I'll answer your question. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So
I'm done. I just wanted to tell you that again.
What was that last thing you said?
Oh, so one of my favorite podcasters, Ethan Klein has a podcast called See You Next Tuesday.
Nice.
because he likes that word.
Right. Yeah. I like to say see you next to what?
So you're fine. We love you. Oh my gosh.
Well, I love you too. I love everybody here, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good night, Will.
You too. Bye-bye. Gray, I'm using just my new burner app, but I have to dude, this is not Gray Hughes technology, bro. Like, you're way too advanced for this rig that I'm using right here. This is this is just, I have my phone up to my mic and that's it. So you could do better than this. Somebody keeps trying to call, but yeah, Gray, sorry to disappoint, man, but it is called, if you're still interested, it's called My New Burner. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
How can you call someone racist and then silence a black man?
Next caller. Yeah, what's funny, Gray, is I have not figured out how to I have not figured out how to connect phone to StreamYard and do the stuff that you good creators do. So man, how about that? Skype works. But I mean, can I use Skype and stream on StreamYard? Bro, this BX bitch boy is like blowing up my phone like a ex-girlfriend, bro. It's so sad. It's over. It's over, sweetheart. Let it go. Just let it go. Move on. But I will take another caller as long as it's not that douche. And I love that he's leaving me voicemails like I check voicemails on this fucking bullshit app. You're on. Who am I speaking with? What did I do?
Why won't you let black people speak? Let the black person.
Oh my god, bro. Guy's like a crazy ex, bro. I had somebody else on and he interrupted, so you're on. Who am I speaking with? Hey, who's this?
Fanta, Phantasmagorical.
Fanta! Wow. She rises from the dead. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
As of now, I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
How are you
I came in
doing?
late on the stream. I missed whatever happened. I'm doing well. I'm over in the Comicsgate scene now.
You're in the what scene?
Comicsgate.
The comics scene. Yeah. I mean, the Johnny Depp thing's pretty much done. So, I mean, Tug's still making it work. That's how good of a creator he is. He's still making that shit work. That dude is dope.
Yes, he is. I love Tug.
Yeah. But
How have you been?
I've been all right, man. I've been all right. Like I said, I got a couple of little personal things going on right now and everything, but it's just enough to put me in a foul mood for a while until the issue is solved, which it will be.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
It'll all work out.
Always does.
I try to be positive.
You gotta be.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to come up and say hi.
Well, I'm glad you
troll
did.
A little bit. Yeah. Well, you have a great rest of your stream. I'll be in the chat.
All right. Thank you so much.
I will.
Oh, and to answer BX's question, I know he's listening. His question while he was up here, I mean, you can hang up if you want, but you could stay on if you want to stay on for this. To answer his question, because he tried to slip that in there, like, how can you say you're not a racist when you won't let a black man on here? Well, I don't let cunts on here. A cunt is a cunt. Doesn't matter what color you are. So, not a racist.
No, not as far as I know. So, bam, take that.
Take that.
It's awesome talking to you, Will.
You too. Always nice talking to you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Gray Hughes, homie, you got to give me money, dude. Thank you so much, Gray. Appreciate that, man. Y'all need to subscribe to Gray Hughes. If you need to get on the Gray Hughes Investigates bandwagon, make sure to do that. Like, nobody does true crime like Gray Hughes. Hands down. Nobody does. Go subscribe to his channel. Become a freak. Do it. Do yourself a favor. And I can take another caller. Good talking to you too, Fanta. Yeah, man. I feel you, Gray. I really feel you, man. But dude, your game is always on point, homie. Like, even if it's a little off, it's still on point. You're still like 10 steps ahead of the average true crime creator. So don't let that get to you, buddy. Oracle Blinn, thank you so much. Love you, Will. Love your perspective on everything. Never change. You never change. Thank you so much. And I missed that call. Try calling again, y'all. Whoever that was. Man, I'm really glad I did this live, man. I followed my gut, and I'm really glad I did. You guys are fucking great. Seriously. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Will, it's BC.
Hey, BC.
How are you tonight?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good. I just want to tell you that I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate everything you said. I don't take that word personal at all. And I think any woman who can ever say that she hasn't called a man a dick, I mean, come on. Words are words. They're no big deal.
I know plenty of women who are dicks too. So
I know. I mean, I just think women say they want equal rights, don't treat us differently, but don't say that word to me. That's offensive.
Well,
I just think it's ridiculous.
I mean, dare I go down this road? Uh-oh. But, do I think it's okay to hit a woman if you're a man? Fuck no. Generally, men are physically stronger than women, so that's why it's not okay. But most women are intellectually stronger than most men, in my experience. So, I mean, what's the problem? You know what I mean?
Well, I will just simply say the glare is not for the weak.
No,
and
it's not.
People who come on your channel and watch you and support you and follow you may not agree with everything that you say, but we appreciate your honesty and we appreciate the fact that you have the guts to say what you feel, whether it's popular or not.
That means
and if you
so
don't
much.
want to hear what is unpopular, then tune out.
Yeah. Go turn on the news.
That's right. That's why Gray has the same followers who follow you, because he says it all the time. He may not have the thousands and thousands of people and thousands of super chats that other people have. And it's because you go to the people who tell the truth, or you go to the people who sensationalize and who agree with you, whether you're right or wrong. And you're not a person who agrees whether you're right or wroong.
And I appreciate, I got to
that.
point this out. I appreciate, there's this person who's consistent in my chat, Kay Rochelle, and I've known her since middle school, since the 7th grade. And we have consistently been friends ever since. And she will attest that I have always been who I am. I've always been this way. I've never, I've gone through phases in my life where I, have made mistakes, growing pains, if you will, and I'm a bit of a late bloomer. But one thing I've always been is loyal. One thing that I've always been is honest. And and I'm never going to apologize for those things that people who have known me for a long time know about me. These are the things that make me who I am, and you know, she's one of those few people that have been around in my life that long and have remained friends with me for that long. So excuse me. So it's really cool to see her in my chats pretty consistently, and you know, and she says hi to me once in a while, and you know, it's nice to have people like that in my life still who truly understand me.
Yeah, that's great. I just want to say one more thing before I hang up. I always say to my friends, I'm like black licorice. You either really like it or you really don't. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So that's the way that you need to look at this. There's always going to be people that are going to say, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done whatever. No, I don't think so. You're never going to agree with everything I do. So you either support me all the time or take a hike.
I mean, not even, you know, you don't have to support me every time. You don't have to support everything I do. I discourage you to just support me just because I'm me, you know. And Gray's saying, hell, you didn't even like me at first. How is that possible? I did like Gray at first. I was so new to the game, and I was so arrogant and wrongfully placing my arrogance and pointing it towards people I didn't even know. So our initial interaction, Gray, is totally on me, man. And that's something that I will always take back. And I'm so grateful that he and I understand each other so much better nowadays, you know. And I'm kind of glad that we went through what we did. I just wish YouTube wasn't so fucking weird about unblocking people. We still haven't fucking figured that out. I don't because we kind of blocked each other back in the day, and you know, but I was an arrogant fuck, you know, not knowing anything about how this community worked, and I was really naive, and I'm just grateful that we've gotten to this point today. So Gray, yeah, you know, I've always liked you, man. I just didn't know how to
clear support, meaning that showing grace when people may do or say things that you don't agree with all the time, but knowing who they are to their core, and that it wasn't meant to be malicious. It was meant out of passion, out of anger. You reacted. We're all human. If my God, if we can't say a word that doesn't offend somebody once a day, I guess we're doing well, because in the world we live in today, everybody's super sensitive. You can't say or do anything without being chastised for it, and then heaven forbid, you know, you better take accountability right away. You better apologize right away, or you're going to get canceled. I mean, people just really need to stop being so sensitive, get a little bit thicker skin, and realize that people aren't perfect 100% of the time.
Right. And I'm going to start trying to broaden the subject matter in which I talk about. You know, I'm still gonna speak my mind on, you know, these tragedy pimps and whatnot, because it's an issue that I am very passionate about. And victimizing victims is something that I'm always going to be very passionate about, because I know it's always going to happen. But the more we create awareness for it, the smaller the problem becomes. So I'm going to continue to do that. But I don't want to be just, you know, confined to certain things because I want to cater to everyone and what they expect, you know.
Yeah, that's easy and lazy.
Right. And I'm doing you guys a disservice by doing that. So I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, keep being you and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You
Bye.
too. Oh, Rosanna H, that was you. Right on. I hope somebody clipped that. That was the best caller of all time. Not at all, Gray Hughes. Do I consider theorizing and accusing to be the same thing? Not at all. Not at all. I think it's okay to speculate. But I think, you know, we have to be careful with our platforms that if the speculations that we spin don't victimize anyone, or, you know, also just as important, in my opinion, impede on ongoing investigations. Like the Summer Wells case, for instance, being an example. What's going on with that all of the crazy speculation that's taken place and accusations that have taken place have absolutely affected that investigation on the negative. And I feel so much hurt for Summer. Because that little girl is lost. And I fear that it's absolutely YouTube's fault. Well, the people on YouTube, not the, you know, program itself. Well, Gray, okay, Gray's saying, I theorize that Kaylee's boyfriend may have been involved in the murders in Idaho at first with the calls and the personal nature, and he wasn't cleared, but now they say I accused him. I don't think that the thing is you speculated based on the facts that you were given, that were provided. You speculated on the facts that were provided at the time. More facts became apparent since then, and you've changed your theory. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially if you correct yourself. Most of these people just double and triple down and they go, oh no, I'm telling you. And then they go, well, Brian Koberger's innocent. And it's like, wait, what? You know, and I'm not saying I don't know whether he's guilty or innocent or not, but you know what I mean? You didn't throw out these wild accusations at somebody. You took the facts that were presented to you and made public by law enforcement, and you developed a certain theory, but you didn't harp on it. There's a big difference. Don't let these fucking idiots fucking tell you what you do and what you don't do. I know what you do and what you don't do. Your freaks know what you do and what you don't do. Don't let that shit get to you, homie. Look, watch this. Here we go. You're on. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. So we just got we got my my crazy stalker mouth breathing on the phone. Claire, I miss you, Claire, I miss you. Here we go. Yes.
Why are you lying? And let the black man speak. Stop lying. Let the black man speak. Why are you such a liar, man? Why are you lying? Tell them exactly what I said. How you gonna misrepresent my words like that?
What did you say?
How are you gonna call someone else racist, but then keep silent and refuse to let a black man say?
That's exactly what you. That's exactly what I said. You said.
No, that's not.
See, this is why people don't like you.
You said that I accused you of being racist.
You. That's the same thing.
You are a fool. Okay. You said that you.
Okay. Next caller. Now you guys know. I mean, with what he was saying there, he was implying that I was being hypocritical. And if you're implying that I'm being hypocritical after I called someone else a racist, that would imply that I'm a racist, right? Look, he's still blowing up the phone, bro. Like, still. Douche. Dude, and what's funny about this dude is, he used to do like MMA. Like, I thought you had to be tough and even somewhat smart to be. Every MMA fighter that I've ever met, anybody who engages in mixed martial arts, are usually pretty sharp. Like, they have a certain understanding of life. I mean, no wonder he quit. I mean, it just wasn't for him. But I did respect the fact that he got out there and tried. I watched his fight. It was actually not bad. He lost and then quit afterwards. But, he earned a little bit of my respect when I watched the fight. Right, Kelly Green, disciplined. Exactly. This guy has like no discipline at all whatsoever. Like, how are you going to live with your mom as long as you do and still have no discipline? Like, it's, I don't get it. Thank you, Shauna B. Appreciate it. Have a good night. I know Lex Lux. The dude is like, he's hysterical. Oh my God, dude. Oh, this is the funnest fucking live ever. Gina Marie, we just call him Bitch Boy here. That's all you need to know. Right, Chronicles. Right. Right. Like I said, K. Rochelle here has known me my entire life. Borderline my entire life. I do not have a racist bone in my body. And I hate racism. I fucking despise it. Oh, of course he is. I'm his only chance for content. I am the only thing that he's got, which is really sad. Like, he could aim so much higher, It's just so funny. Like, the lack of self-awareness in that one is strong. Nobody else is calling in? Should I wrap this up? Tom Riddle, haven't seen you in a minute. Oh man, that's great. Let's see. What did Tom Riddle say? The glare, haven't been here in a while, so coming in with this from a fresh perspective. This is wild. So people are angry that you called a toxic person a no word. Yeah, basically. But I just kind of had to people didn't seem to know where to go and what to do here. Like, I just decided to do this live to make it easier for them. So, and no hard feelings to anybody who's just like, glare is not for me anymore. So. Oh, get Kelly Green. Me either. I didn't really realize it either. But I feel 100 times better. All right. So I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope I was clear about my position and how I feel about everything that's going on. And I hope that me reaching the point of being this clear has helped those of you who weren't sure whether or not, you still like the glare or not. I hope I greased those wheels for you, either coming this way or going that way. But either way, totally understandable decision. But I just, I wanted to clear this up tonight, man, because you guys do mean the world to me. And I refuse to mislead you and try to maintain you by being misleading or by being ingenuine, because it's just not in my fucking DNA to be ingenuine. So anyways, guys, you guys were absolutely fantastic, man. This meant the world to me to hang out with you guys tonight. It really, really did. So thanks to all of you who called. Thanks to all of you who watched. Thanks to all of you for participating in chat, and a big shout out again to Ikadmel for coming in here. Down the Rabbit Hole News, Gray Hughes Investigates, Phantasmagorical, who I haven't talked to in a long time, Hen, that was great to see you in chat as well as always, and of course Cherry as always. Big shout out to Cherry for just being just easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had, man. I didn't even know that, like, that someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. So anyway, guys, yes, Emily, I would say see you next Tuesday, but I'm sure I'll see you sooner than that. Therefore, we will do this again very soon, my friends. Love you guys.